This is Calvin Cox, and it's Tuesday, June 17. The year is 2014, and it's 7:08 p.m. What I want to talk about, I just want to throw an idea out simply for the purpose of trying something new. It has to do with our political system and politicians in general, and the perception of some people, definitely me, that politicians perhaps don't work very hard for their money, and they do get paid well. Okay, it's very difficult sometimes to determine how hard somebody actually does work, or that the work that they claim they are performing is even honest. And you know, if they're having business meetings with certain people or contract negotiations, that those negotiations are honest and straightforward. And so, you know, there's a lot of if about politicians, and the truth of the matter is a fair amount of politicians do actually go to prison for doing illegal things. So, you know, it's and other people too. I'm not just trying to single out politicians, except, you know, our public leaders, you want them to, you know, really pull for you, Joe Average, and get your input, which I really don't think they're that interested in. Yeah, they do hold town hall meetings, but all I can ever figure a town hall meeting, the purpose of a town hall meeting is simply to learn how to control a crowd. You know, they don't sit there and ask me, gee, Calvin, you know, what do you think about the inter-county connector? Should we have really spent, you know, $3.4 billion building that just so only rich people could afford to drive on it? You know, it's pretty obvious. I would have said, no, don't build the damn thing. Or if you do, I want to use it for free, you know. No politician ever asked me about that. But the point is, the big point is, what's wrong? You know, California is a wonderful place for trying something new. The state of California, you know, everybody is always, you know, so many new things come out of California. And so I was thinking it would be cool if, you know, Hollywood is there, a lot of Silicon Valley is there, everything necessary to create an artificial candidate. And I thought it would be really neat if Pixar or some other company who has sufficient animation equipment to generate an animated political candidate and actually have this political candidate run for office, and that behind this political candidate would be a chosen group of, you know, like a preacher, a business person, you know, a negotiator, a really good negotiator, computer programmers, and have, you know, like a panel of about 7 to 10 people actually generate this artificial candidate, and have this artificial candidate actually run against the other real human candidates. The point is, an artificial candidate can't make deals behind the scenes. Okay? I don't know. It's kind of a crazy idea, but maybe it would be a way for making politicians actually work for what they get paid for, realizing that some way it might be possible for their jobs to be taken by computer animated politicians. You know, it would be wonderful in a way because they can't take bribes. And so in theory, their choices and their actions should never be based on a bribe. I don't know. It's just an idea. I'm throwing it out there. I guess you could write software in depth enough. I don't know what, I don't know how far along artificial intelligence has come, but and this also smacks of Washington D.C. and Congress. I mean, my understanding of lately is that they have not been getting along because they're not able to, these days, bring the bacon home with their appropriations that are attached onto bills that come through Congress. Used to be, when a bill came through, okay, I'll support you on what you want to attach on this bill if you support me for what I want to attach on this bill. And in a political world, okay, that's great, but in the world of the average everyday worker like me, I don't see that as something where, the Congress people from Maryland are, working for me specifically. It's more like they're making deals for, I don't know, it gets more confusing. It's easier to understand a candidate and what they stand for, in my view, if you can separate, who they're making deals with and making attachments just to get the money they want, whatever. If you can separate all that from, the whole deal to see how candidates vote individually on issues, it almost seems to be the only way to figure out what a candidate really stands for. If you eliminate if you don't let the money be attached to this, that's attached to that, and on and on and on, it makes it very confusing and very difficult to actually understand what that candidate stands for individually on a lot of different issues. So anyway, an artificial political candidate, in my thinking, I really don't think is that far out. California would be the perfect place to have one, and maybe they should just pick one county in California near an area where a lot of these companies that can put all this together and make an artificial candidate. That would make more sense. Pick a county close to all those companies that can do that, and let them run against a real person and see what happens. Might be interesting. Thanks.